Everybody, Big Jim Country Boy here. Check out my new t-shirt. Displays my big giant hot dog I cooked over a campfire. Isn't that beautiful? I got a bunch of other shirts you can check out, coffee mugs and sweatshirts, hoodies, and everything. I'll leave a link down in the description to the merch store. Until next time, Big Jim Country Boy, over and out. Big Jim Country Boy here. Here's a little bit of our gardening greenhouse update videos. We just got stuff stacked in the greenhouse right now. We made a bunch of these gardens in a pot, in a hanging basket. There's tomato plants and cucumbers. And we put some onions in some, onion sets, pepper plants. I just potted these yesterday. And then there's some of the ones I did before earlier. See one back there with a zucchini blossom on it. I used a big aluminum asphalt rake called a loop. And I put that end on the wood pile and I tied this end up to the greenhouse. Some pepper plants, eggplant, more eggplant. Another hanging basket. Look how high the tomato plant is. It's over 2 foot already. Flowers on it. I believe that's the Sweet 100 variety. There's some cabbage, tomato plants with cabbage. We got some corn way there in the back started. Some more tomato plants that are pretty hardy back there. This is some onions just coming in. And I think impatient flowers we planted by seed, later ones down there on the ground. So what we're doing is we're taking these hanging pots out of here. Today's April 30th. I think last night was the last chance of frost. And if you see my other videos, we're also making garden buckets. Bucket garden and then a bucket. These have been growing for a little while. There's some more garden plants there. But what we're doing right now, we're going to actually plant a garden in this greenhouse this year too. But for now, I'm trying to get all this out of here. And one of the things that we're doing is trying to get all that out of there. One of the things that we're doing is I put screws in here on the front of the house. And we're hanging these garden planters up. We hung out like 4 so far. I'll show you again later when we get some more done today, but they're gonna hang like that off of a screw, deck screw I put in. And then over here, we have this fence that we put around the garden. And these poles. And I just put a slip knot in the rope I put on it around a piece of large splinter of mulch I put in there last year. And I just let that hang here. This bed's been in for a couple weeks through 4 frosts. It's still doing good. Some potatoes planted over here. And then cabbage here. See the cabbages? And then over here is peppers. To the end. There. Now along this fence and along this board and all the way down this side of the fence on the other side of the greenhouse, we planted cucumber seeds, but I don't see any sprouts yet. Maybe the soil's a little cold, we'll see. If they don't grow, we'll replant. I left the fence up that was around the garden before in my videos from 2 years ago because I don't want the groundhog in here. And he may be able to chew right through this greenhouse too, or crawl under it, so that's helping to keep him out. But one of the things I did is cleaned up all the leaves early this spring, and I threw them between the fence here and the greenhouse to hold down the bottom of this plastic and to insulate the air from blowing under. And it's got windows here that can open and close. Good it didn't get too cold last night. Somebody left the window open all night. Your brother, little Jim Country Boy, didn't close the window last night. So I got some more pots hung up now. Took a few minutes. Just some ideas for people short on space to gardening. Put one here in the peach tree. And then, like I said, I got these here hanging off the poles. I may move these because this is in the shade here a little bit. I hung one here in the apple tree. Look at the beautiful blossoms everywhere. I hung 3 off the edge of my shed here. 2 up here by the lilac bush in this mulberry tree. 1 there and 1 there. There's the whiskey barrel update from my last video. Some stuff that's been growing in there a couple weeks. Cabbage and some Napa cabbage. Napa cabbage grows almost anywhere. I put some in the brick there too. I put this 2x4 up here in the driveway off of my shed. And I hung 3 up here. And I'm trying out this drip water system. What I did is I put a cap on the bottle, water, drilled a tiny hole in it, and it slowly drips. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I don't think very long, because if you can see that space there, that space is doubled in the last 20 minutes of air, so we'll see how long they're going to last. Along my driveway here, this is the garden bed we put in. And I planted stuff along the rocks. They're actually getting zucchini or some kind of squash on them down there right now. And then there it goes around the corner of the driveway here. This is an old cooler I filled in. Got potatoes, cabbage, and tomato plants going in it. I'm not sure what variety these tomato plants are. We'll find out when they get bigger. But they've been through 4 frosts and they're still growing pretty good. See, some of the other ones got frosted out and died. Some of them's holding strong. And these are garbage cans I had filled with dirt. Then these are some more of those buckets. Cattle mineral buckets. That like I made the whiskey barrel out of. This tomato plant caught a little bit from the frost, but it's hanging in there. This one looks very good yet. The frost didn't bother it at all. Then here is a garden bed we put in. We got some squash and sweet potatoes growing in there. The sweet potatoes been through the frost a few times too, but they're not the greatest. The pumpkin plants down here died off pretty good. I planted on the hillside. I think I didn't take the frost so well. Maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't. I got more seed. Then this is an aerial view of where I showed you behind the greenhouse before. And all along this fence down here, we planted cucumbers. And then down on the sidewalk here, don't mind the mess, I'm cleaning out the greenhouse right now. We have cucumbers planted there to grow up that wire fence. Here's what all the hanging pots look like on the house from up on the driveway. They should look pretty good with all the plants growing down towards the ground, hanging down later. You probably won't see my house.